Emerald, will you do the roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Patrick?
Here.
Commissioner Scrivener and your younger profile. Commissioner Leachman
Here.
and Commissioner Wilkins.
Present. The invocation will be, actually, we have a guest speaker tonight, Chaplain Billy Fanska with Prairie Cross, and he is stepping in for the invocation. You get to come up front. He says he's in training.
I've never done this invocation here before.
Yeah,
Right in front of the podium, right there? Yep.
You'll be fine.
I can face,
no, face us.
okay, all right.
We're the ones you're praying for.
We're praying for everybody.
There you go.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your goodness and your gracious. We thank you for your mercy. And Father, we ask for your wisdom tonight, that we can make the right decisions, that we can show mercy in our decisions and righteousness. We ask, Father, that you bless and protect each one here and give us grace in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do you have something for Kelly?
It was delayed, so it's supposed to be here Wednesday, so I will deliver that to him.
Okay. Well, we have a plaque of recognition, Kelly, for your time on the commission.
Allegedly.
But I do have a short statement.
Go ahead.
Tonight, I'd like to take a moment to recognize Commissioner Kelly Tetrick and express my sincere appreciation for his service to our community. Kelly has served on the commission since 2022, and during that time, he has brought a steady, thoughtful, and committed presence to the table. I genuinely value your perspective, your willingness to dive into the details, and your dedication to doing what is best for the people of El Dorado. Although we haven't always agreed, more often than not, you've approached every challenge with integrity, patience, and a strong sense of responsibility, and it has been a privilege to work alongside you. Your time, effort, and heart for this community has made a real and lasting impact on behalf of the Commission, and personally, I want to thank you for everything you've contributed and for the positive mark you leave on this organization. We are grateful for your service, and we wish you the very best in whatever comes next.
Thank you for the kind words. I did not prepare anything quite that extravagant. I do agree with everything you said. We have not agreed on much, but I have enjoyed my time here for sure. I'd like to thank you guys, the two of you that decided to show up tonight. That was pretty fantastic. As well as the city staff for all of your help along the way. Congratulations to Commissioner Tipton. I'm very confident you will do a great job. This is a very thankless job. It is difficult. It doesn't pay enough, as Mr. Fellers would agree. And the last thing that I can say to everybody that's here, that's watching, get involved, come to the work session, see the work that they put in. We don't just sit up here for 15 or 20 minutes and vote on things. We really do spend a lot of time. So, but thanks again. I did enjoy it, even though I might have said I didn't. I will never do it again. That is affirmative. But I did enjoy my time, so thank you.
Kelly, I second all that. I've enjoyed working with you, buddy.
And Emerald will get you your recognition plaque.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll deliver it.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So I need to make a motion here.
Yes.
I move to adjourn the city commission meeting, sine die. Is that how it's pronounced? Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the city commission meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Now we will have the installation of the newly elected member of the city commission, Andrew Tipton.
And, well, 3 swear in
I'm
Leon
redo, I
as
might
well.
have failed.
Do what?
A redo.
We'll have to
They get
swear in
sworn.
Leon as
It
well.
has to do me too.
So Andrew will start with you. And then, supposed to, yeah. So we'll do right here, so the mic can hear us for our friends watching and we can take a picture. Right here, right, you can see him? Okay, perfect. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Andrew Tipton,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties of the Commissioner of the City of El Dorado, Kansas.
and faithfully discharge the duties of the City Commissioner in El Dorado, Kansas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And need your signature. And then Leon. Same thing, you know what you're doing.
Maybe.
You've done this a time or two. Okay, this way, Julie? Yes. This way, a little bit. Okay. Raise your
Okay.
right. Yeah. I state your name.
Leon Leachman,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of
the
Kansas,
Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties of Commissioner of the City of El Dorado, Kansas.
and faithfully discharge the duties of City Commissioner of El Dorado, Kansas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then I need to go to sleep.
Now we get to shake hands. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Colin.
Welcome back.
Yes.
And then I'll swear. Yeah, you're on. Have to make a copy now.
Personal appearances. Personal appearances are opportunities for organizations or citizens to make special presentations before the city commission. Such appearances are scheduled in advance of the meeting by calling City Clerk Emerald Ashblock, 316-321-9100 by 5 p.m. the Tuesday preceding the meeting. Presentations are limited to 10 minutes. Any presentation is for informal information purposes only. No action will be taken. And there are no personal appearances this evening.
You'll be public. You're okay. Next one.
You're next. Public comments. Persons who wish to address the city commission regarding any matter that is under the jurisdiction of the city commission may do so when called upon by the mayor. Comments on personnel matters, matters pending in court, and land use matters are not permitted. Land use public hearings are held during planning commission meetings. Is there anyone here for a public comment? And please state your name and address for the record.
Gerald Owens, 308 West Central Avenue,
Thank you.
El Dorado. I'm here concerning a problem that has arisen because of the recent construction on Central Avenue where they did much needed upgrade of the city services. That road has been 4-lane for as long as I can remember, 2 lanes each way. During this time, I live at 308, there is no assigned or blocked parking in front of it. It is, but the city has allowed it. I was told the road was 1 foot too narrow. After that road reopened, I remember going out the next day or so and looking at it, thinking, boy, they added a turn lane. So now there are 5 lanes, 2 each way, 1 in the center. And I thought, man, that's gonna make it tight parking there, but I blew it off because I'd been there 25 years. We've always been able to park there. 3 or 4 days later, on Sunday, about 11 o'clock, police knocked on our front door, asked us if we knew who the vehicle was in front of our house. And we said no, which was, we hardly ever knew who it was. And he said, well, you can't park there, we can't park there anymore, yada, yada. So Monday, I go over to the office next door, 318, and talk with Mr. Cannell briefly. He wrote a letter to the city asking them to, among other things, remove the lane. Mr. Rickard has been, then contacted us, and subsequently he said he would be glad to meet with us. We did, and in a very cordial meeting, we got together and discussed things, and he said that he sent us back, said, I will come up with an idea. And fast forward, they came up, and with the idea, the city proposes 3 parking spaces. Turns out 1's in front of my 308 and 2 in front of 318. None of them designated, and there won't be any handicap, of course, because it's on the street. And then the fun part came. I had 2 problems with it, and the first problem, Mr. Rickard and I, he has agreed to. I was concerned about the water meter and where it was going to be, because it would have been originally they wanted to put it down, and we agreed to put it in the sidewalk. And then he said, and your share of the bill is, and I had trouble. I stopped right there. They did say both of us have to sign the petition to get it to go, and I have not agreed to sign. And so my whole issue today is the mailman cannot come to our place and deliver mail. He has to go and park somewhere else and then come back and come to our place. We can't get packages because they can't park there. They have done some things that were a little questionable, but anyway. But I'm here this evening to request, I would like to see the project go forward, and I would like 308 exempt from any expense due to because we were inadvertently left out of the original notice. We weren't notified. And so we had no chance to speak beforehand. And thank you.
Thank you. Consent agenda for this evening will be the approval of the City Commission meeting minutes from November 17th, 2025, and the following cereal malt beverage licenses on, excuse me, Two Brothers Barbecue, Dollar General on North Main, Dollar General on West Central, Jump Start on West Central, Jump Start on North Main, Quick Trip on West Central, Casey's on West Central, Casey's on North Main, Walmart on Village Road, and Dillon's on North Main. Approval of appropriation ordinance number 10-25 in the amount of $2,315,562.77, and approval of the 2026 salary schedule for the city of El Dorado, Kansas. Do I have a motion?
I move that we accept the consent agenda as printed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Commissioner, there may be others that had public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Was there someone else who had a public comment? Well, come on forward. I apologize. You should have hollered at me earlier.
I was just gonna be quiet and not say anything.
Well,
Because
Oh,
you,
come on.
yeah, okay.
Art Anderson, 635 Marmaton Road in El Dorado. I'm here to speak to the survey that you sent out on the aquatic center. I guess my number one problem is it's too much money. According to what I'm hearing and seeing, our population is not growing. We're kind of stagnant. And I think this is an awful lot of money to spend on something that I really believe private enterprise ought to get involved in. I know the kids need a swimming pool, and I had one when I was a kid, and I went down and enjoyed it and had a great time. I'm not against that. I'm not against swimming meets, and I realize that sometimes you have to have other lanes, more lanes, to have a swimming meet. I'm really, I don't know what word to use. I'm unhappy with this survey. It doesn't explain enough. You end up asking yourself more questions after you read it. Just like I didn't realize we were gonna tear the Civic Center down, you know? I don't know what made me think that we were gonna keep it forever, but it's not that old a building, you know? I've talked to several people about this survey, and the first two I talked to said they threw it in the trash. They said, it doesn't make any difference what we say, they're gonna do whatever they wanna do. Well, I'm totally against that, you know. I'm hoping that this will be put to a public vote, so we can vote on it, you know. I have a question about the parking. On the picture I've got, it shows 115 parking spaces south of this complex. If I'm reading it right, the the TV outfit, Velocity, is parking their trucks there. Do we own that property? Are we leasing them that property? Are we gonna have to buy that property? You know, these are questions you ask yourself that aren't really explained, you know? I don't know who did the survey. I'm not gonna call anybody names or anything like that, but I think it's poorly put together. And I think there's way too many options. I think, this is my opinion, on the 9th Street option, I wanna know if the railroad's been contacted, because any of you that have dealt with the railroad knows, you know, they're in a different world by themselves, you know, and they don't get in a rush about nothing. So have they been contacted? I assume if we improve that street, it'll have curb and guttering. Now, there aren't very many landowners down there, and I'm wondering if they're gonna be able to afford their portion of that, if we stay like we've done everywhere else in town. These are just a few of the questions that I have, that I couldn't get answered out of the survey. I talked to Mr. Leachman about some of these. Newton and Derby have these aquatic parks. I don't know who built them, whether the city built them, but we're gonna be in competition with them. And I don't see it to be a Worlds of Fun deal or a Wolf Lodge or anything of that caliber. So I wonder if we actually have enough staff in El Dorado that we could hire to run this place, you know? And it's gonna take a lot of money to run it. So these are some of the concerns that I have, and, you know, I don't think people are too happy with this survey. And we don't want our taxes, I definitely don't want a sales tax. You know, they never seem to go away. So I think you need to back off, regroup, kind of ask yourself, you know, can we really afford this? And I'll just mention one more thing. I was always led to believe the swimming pool was a gone entity. It leaked, it wasn't no good. Well, you told me, Mr. Leishman, that you guys have been informed that there's nothing wrong with it, you know?
Let's back up just a second. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. Didn't say there wasn't anything wrong with it.
Well, there's some things wrong with it, yes, I'll agree with
That's
that.
correct.
But structurally, it can be used.
That's correct.
For I don't know how many more years, you know? But I see a lot of money being spent, and I just don't think the people of El Dorado can afford it. You know, we've got to stop somewhere. We just can't keep spending. So I don't want to be negative. I know everybody will say I am, but I'm up here to voice the concerns of a lot of people in this town, and I just don't think we need it. And I thank you for your time.
Thank
Now,
you.
Art, what I want you to do is I want you to fill out that survey anyway, and I want you to put your comments on that, so that when we open them all up and read them, we see what your concerns are.
I'll do that.
And all those friends of yours that pitched them, give them a call and say, dig it out of the trash, fill it out, send it in. We need the comment, we need those comments
They don't even
too.
want to talk to me about it anymore.
Okay. Well, tell them that they need to be filled out, even if they're negative, we need that feedback.
Well,
So give us the
I understand that.
feedback. Okay.
And I can't control those other people, but
Okay.
anybody I talk to that has that attitude, I'll try to
do
change
that.
it.
I
Thank you
appreciate
very
that.
much.
Thank you, Art.
Thanks for coming.
Sorry I skipped over you. Okay. Next on the agenda is a public hearing for the 2026 budget amendment. So I will now open a public hearing. Are there any comments from the audience to be made on the 2026 budget?
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
I'm Tabitha Sharp, the Assistant City Manager. Each year, we have to do a budget amendment if we spend more than we originally state that we're going to in the year prior. So this year, we have a couple of amendments. Several funds are being updated so that we can use fund balance to pay for building projects or to buy equipment. Those include the senior center, major streets, stormwater, special parks and rec, tourism, street sales tax, excess sales tax, building demolition, water, sewer, and CNG. So all of those have had something extra to purchase this year, and they're doing so with fund balance. The special alcohol program fund is being updated because the city collected more money than expected. By law, this money has to go to groups that support domestic violence shelters. So we spent it all, but now we just have to say that we did that. The Prairie Trails Fund is being updated for two reasons. The first is the city's contract with the golf course operator says that we will spend $50,000 a year on capital projects. That was not included in the budget for 2025 because the contract was done after the budget was done. We also have decided to make sure that we pay everything for the golf course out of the golf course fund. We were paying property taxes out of recreation because that's who was running the golf course. But now that it has its own fund, we wanted to make sure that it was representing the true expenses. So we're paying property taxes out of that fund each year. So more money had to be moved from the general fund to Prairie Trails to cover it, but it was budgeted in the general fund originally. We're just moving it to Prairie Trails. The data processing fund is being updated. We've talked a lot about this. We are under the GAAP requirements, the generally accepted accounting principles, and they have a rule that started last year. And it says that we have to pay all of our, or that we have to track all of our software and report that each year. And so in order to do that, it's easier if we pay it all out of one place. It makes the reporting much easier. It makes the software contracts easier to find. So the funding for that just moved from the departments it was originally budgeted in and is now in data processing. Finally, the industrial mill levy is being, we moved funding from the fund balance of the industrial mill levy to the economic development fund to help pay for some future projects. Those projects could happen in 2025, so we wanted to be safe and go ahead and do that. They're more likely to happen in 2026, and so we will deal with that when it comes. Any questions?
I have one.
Yeah.
It says public hearing 2026 budget amendment public hearing. Is that to 2025?
That should have been 2025, yes.
Okay, just want to make sure because that's what it says under the
Yes,
resolution
it's
too.
the 2025 budget
Okay.
amendment. It was published as the 2025 budget
That's right.
amendment in the paper, so we're good there. Any other questions?
Any other public comment? Then I will close the public hearing. Under new business, we have the consideration of the approval of the 2025 budget amendment.
Ready for motion?
I gotta get back to the page.
Yeah, that's okay. It's kind of buried. There's so many. It says, it's on further down.
Further
It's
down.
about, yeah, it's about the fifth tab. There you
There I am.
are. Okay, that's what I was
Okay.
looking for, wasn't it? Yeah.
So do we have any questions
I don't.
for Tabitha
No, I don't
before
have.
she walks out? Okay. So then I would entertain a motion to approve the 2025 budget amendment.
I move to approve the 2025 budget amendment as presented.
A second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Not in favor, same sign. Motion passes. Next is the consideration of the appointment of the vice mayor for the 2026 term. Did that get a tab?
Yes, it did.
Oh, it did. Okay.
I think we have extra tabs.
Do you have anything to say about this, or did we just do it?
Well, the commission can either move forward as the three of you now, or you can wait until the next meeting and have the five of you decide that at that time.
I don't think there's any reason to wait. We followed a rotation like this, and so, well, okay, it's your rotation.
Okay.
So would you like for me to make a motion?
One of you has to, I think.
I move to appoint Commissioner Kendra Wilkinson as the vice mayor for a term set to expire December 31st, 2026.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the consideration of approval of the low bid of $17,056.04 from H6 Excavation. Oh,
Easy for you to
authorize
say.
staff to proceed with demolition of the structures at 937 North Oak Street, 501 West 12th Street, and 1125 North Walnut Street.
Yes, Vice Mayor and Commissioners, these three properties are previously went through the public hearing process, deemed unsafe, unfit for occupation. Demolition has been ordered. We went ahead and proceeded with bids for the removal of these three structures. And as previously mentioned, H6 excavation was the low bid. And we're asking you to consider accepting that bid and proceeding with raising of those structures.
If I can ask for my own knowledge, generally how many bids are received when this is put out to bid?
With building demolition, there's usually lots of interest because there's a lot of folks that own, a backhoe or a piece of equipment that's capable of doing it, picking up trucks, so. Other things, not so much, so like commercial demolition involves more permitting and hazardous abatement potentials and things like that. But residential, we usually see pretty good response, so we're pretty pleased with the number of bidders we had.
Thank you.
So how many bidders did you have, Scott? Do you recall?
3.
3?
Yep. Actually 4, I'm sorry. 4 bidders. H6 Excavation, Double J Services, B&H Landworks, and Stan's Farms.
Sounds good.
I would entertain a motion.
I move to accept the low bid of $70,056.04 from H6 Excavation for demolition of the structures at 937 North Oak, South Building, 501 West 12th Street, 1125 North Walnut Street, and authorizing staff to proceed with demolition.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Consideration of approval authorizing staff to proceed with the demolition of 918 North Gordy Street in accordance with resolution number 3030.
Update on this one, no action needed, and we actually got it demolished the end of last week, so.
Oh,
Yep, it is gone, so.
so is that both 918 and 920?
When we get to 920, I'll give you an update on that, but there is some intent to demolish it. However, I'd ask you to consider going ahead and making action.
The only reason I ask is they're included together in the paper I see in front of me. It talks about 918 and 920.
Yeah,
But there's just
The motion
one,
should be separate.
just one
Oh, the
motion
motion
for
should be separate?
918.
Okay.
there's some weird things going, and I need to get this better. When I do my staff report, it's one staff report, and then somehow it gets split to 3 different agenda items.
Oh, okay.
So that's why.
Okay, no problem. I just looked at it and thought, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can forget 920.
No,
Yep.
918, you can forget 918.
Oh, forget 918,
Yep,
excuse me.
You just, no action needed is raised and gone, so.
Okay,
Okay, so did we vote on 918? Or did we get
You don't
started?
have to vote on 918, so you're going to move to item number 20.
Okay, so let's do a motion for 918 North Gordy.
You don't need,
no,
Don't
you
need,
don't need a motion for 918.
because that one's been, you've already done that one.
That's correct.
he's gonna need a motion though for 920.
Yeah, Vice,
Okay, gotcha.
But the way this motion's read out, printed out here, it also includes 502 West 12th.
Yeah,
the motion below doesn't, the staff recommendation.
Oh, I got
lists
you.
the 3
That says
properties.
918, I got you, my bad.
Yeah,
Good job.
quick intro on 920. Resolution 3031 was passed on this structure to go ahead and order demolition.
Got it.
We have visited with the property owner. They have the full intent to have it demolished by the end of the year. I would ask you, though, for your consideration of going ahead and making a motion to authorize staff to proceed with demolition if it doesn't occur
Yeah.
prior to the end of the year. That way we're not backed up to another meeting and doing this action again, so.
Makes sense.
should that be included in the motion?
Yes, staff to proceed with the demolition of 920 North Gordy beginning January 1st, 2026, if the structure is not raised by then.
I'll move to approve staff to proceed with demolition of 920 North Gordy Street in accordance with resolution number 3031.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, next we have the consideration of approval authorizing staff to proceed with demolition of 502 West 12th Street Avenue in accordance with resolution number 3032.
Yes, so this is a property, this was a flood property that we discussed in work session. Commissioner Tipton, if you have any questions specific to the flood property and the nature of that, feel free to ask. The others that we've mentioned here tonight are not flood properties, other than 501 West 12th Avenue, which was under the bid of H6. We have not had any contact with the property owner. They have passed their date from the 30 days from the resolution that was passed. So we're asking you tonight to consider authorizing staff to proceed with demolition on this one as well.
Any other questions? I would accept the motion.
I move to authorize the staff to proceed with the demolition of 502 West 12th Avenue in accordance with resolution number 3032.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The next agenda item is a consideration of finance agreement with Frontier Development LLC and El Dorado, Inc. for the rehab of 124 South Main. Inc. has done their portion, but as a commission, I believe that we should have the five of us together to discuss what Inc. agreed upon and how it'll affect the city. So I would entertain a motion to
Table there.
table.
I move we table this item until our next city commission.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to table this motion, or this this motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We have this commission appointments. There's a sheet back here for that.
So it is the time of the year where we'll be asking commission members for their appointments to various boards and committees. This information should be in your packet, but if it's not, I'll make sure that you
It is, it's in the back.
Yeah.
get it. But I'll just go through these real quickly, and then if there's any questions, we can iron those out. We'll also have to talk about this later as well. So Board of Appeals, I think the plan right now is to ask the current representatives on that board to continue to serve unless the commission has specific people they'd like to appoint. The Board of Appeals and Code Review Committee has specific requirements and need for knowledge of those codes. So if you'd like to appoint somebody, we should make sure that they have the qualifications necessary to serve on that board. Experience El Dorado has two positions up for appointment. The positions that are up for appointment are currently filled by Stephanie Dean and Lawrence Fischetti. And of course, all of these, the individuals may have provided an application or may not. I'm just providing you with the current appointments as they are now. El Dorado, Inc., Commissioners Tipton and Wilkinson will have an appointment to El Dorado, Inc. Currently, Jordan Buxton and Kim Smith serve in those positions. And then Mayor Young also represents the city on the Inc. board, so you'll have to come up with folks for your appointments for those. The library board has three positions up for appointments. Those positions are currently filled by Nick Badway, Lynette Gadel, and Amy Kleitz. Former Commissioner Tetrick has also indicated an interest in wanting to serve on that board. He was the ex officio member from the commission, but would like to continue as an appointed position for your consideration as well. And a commissioner will also be needed to serve as an ex officio on that board. The Planning Commission has 6 positions up for appointments. Incumbents include Scott Leeson, Norm Wilkes, Brad Long, Lawrence Fischetti, and Steve Fellers. The city also has 1 outside appointment to make. That must be filled with an individual living outside the corporate limits, but living inside the 3-mile radius. So that position's been open for a while. We've had some difficulty finding someone to fill it. So if we don't find someone, it's not the end of the world. Main Street, Commissioner Wilkinson currently serves as the commission's ex officio member to the board. And so when the commission discusses those, we'll need to discuss if she would like to continue that or if somebody else would like to serve in that capacity moving forward. REAP, the Regional Economic Area Partnership, Commissioner Scribner has been serving on the REAP board as the city's representative. So again, when the commission discusses that, we'll need to decide if we'll continue or if somebody else wants to serve in that capacity. The Park and Recreation Advisory Board has 4 positions up for appointment. Positions are currently being held by Deborah LaForge, Brett Remsburg, Tyson Nielsen, and Lauren Anthony, and then we may have others that have put in applications as well. The Excess Sales Tax Committee will need appointed members as well. In the past, we've appointed 8 individuals to the committee. 2 positions are appointed by the mayor, and then each commissioner gets 1 appointment. The Planning Commission also gets 1 appointment to serve, and then a final position is taken from the community at large by the commission. And then the commission has appointed an ex officio member in the last couple of years as well. Last year's members included Heather Rinkenbaugh and Wade Wilkinson were the mayor's appointments. Brett Remsburg was Commissioner Tetrick's. Edward Wilson was Commissioner Wilkinson's. Wilfredo Blanco Diaz was Commissioner Leachman's. Ashley Jacks was Commissioner Scribner, and Lori Gioso was the at-large member, and Steve Fellers represented the Planning Commission. So you may consider those individuals and others on those boards. I would encourage you to reach out to others that may be interested as well, so we can get more community engagement as well as just new ideas and engagement from the broader spectrum of the community. So we're looking at January and or February to kind of get those finalized and wrapped up.
So will we probably talk more about this on the 15th,
Yep.
whatever the next planning meeting is?
Yeah, this was just really get it in front of you so you can start
Okay.
to think about it and that sort of thing.
Okay. Second discussion item is Commission Training Kansas Open Meeting Act.
So obviously we have a newly elected commissioner, and I thought it would be a really good opportunity to use this time during regular meetings to provide brief training or overview, if you will, as a means of bringing Commissioner Tipton up to speed, but then also as a way of reviewing it with the rest of the commission. And then it's a great opportunity for the community at home also to learn about these things as well. We do cover a lot of this during work sessions, but by doing it during regular meetings, they can watch it and kind of learn as well. So they kind of know some of these things that that the commission has to abide by and comply with. So the first one we're going to talk about tonight is the Kansas Open Meetings Act. And this slide just shows you some of the news headlines that have promulgated newspapers throughout the state of Kansas, some of which are cities, some of which are counties, some of which are even school districts, all of which are local governments that may or may not have violated the Kansas Open Meetings Act. So how do we prevent these headlines from happening in El Dorado? Well, that's what we're going to talk about very briefly tonight. So the Kansas Open Meetings Act, or as we also refer to it as KOMA, is the legislature's way of reminding us all that the public business is the people's business, and it should be done in a forum where the public may observe it. Now, to be clear, this does not mean that the public has the right to participate, but they do have a right to observe the meeting. And this applies if a quorum of the governing body is discussing or deciding city business. So a quorum for the city of El Dorado is 3. And so if 3 of you are discussing city business, then it would constitute the need for compliance with the Kansas Open Meetings Act. Again, the governing body may provide opportunities for public participation at their discretion. There's no requirement that they do so. You, as the governing body, are charged with making the decisions on behalf of the community. And so to the extent that you want to invite the public to participate in that dialogue, you're more than welcome to do so. But ultimately, the decision is this body's and not necessarily the community's, except for explicit circumstances. So let's dive into COMA real quickly. A meeting is covered by COMA when all 3 conditions are met. Those 3 conditions are, number 1, a quorum of the commission is present, whether physically or virtually. So the virtual piece is a key consideration, especially in today's age where we're always connected. Again, 3 members constitutes a quorum. The second condition is that the members are discussing public business. Public business is anything related to the city's operations, policies, finances, development, personnel direction, etc. So really, anything that you're discussing that involves the city would constitute public business. If you're discussing your grandchildren, your kids, your hobbies, then it would not constitute city business. And the third criteria or condition is that there is an interactive communication, a back and forth discussion, not just attendance at the same event. So you have to actually have dialogue, not necessarily just being in attendance. All 3 must be met in order for the city to adhere to COMA or before a violation exists. So COMA is technology neutral. It's also venue neutral. So that means it applies to regular and special meetings of the governing body. It applies to work sessions, phone calls or group texts that involve a quorum, email threads with back and forth discussions, Zoom meetings, team meetings, or any other virtual platform, including Facebook, and social events if the conversation drifts into city business with a quorum present. So if, I mentioned Facebook, and that's kind of an interesting scenario where you can actually be having a separate conversation, but once 3 commissioners start engaging on an issue on Facebook, it could constitute a violation of COMA, so we want to be very careful with how we interact on even social media. COMA does not, however, apply to community events, for example, a chamber banquet or a social gathering or a fundraiser, unless conversation would delve into official business at that moment. The official business would need to stop so that we wouldn't have a COMA violation. But if you're at those events, oftentimes the commission will go to those events together. That does not necessarily constitute the need for noticing that event if, again, conversation does not delve into official business. So compliance with COMA requires the following. If we know we're going to have an open meeting, we have to have an advance notice of the meeting. So we make that available to anyone that has subscribed to receive notice. We have to have a clear agenda. So we provide agendas of our meetings available on our website, and we'll also make them available in other formats upon request. And a publicly accessible meeting location, like City Hall or the Civic Center or other accessible meeting location. And then finally, the public has to have the ability to observe, again, although not necessarily to participate. So back during COVID, we had public meetings that were open, and we made them available via Teams or Zoom. Still in compliance with COMA, but providing the public with the opportunity to observe those meetings. The state law does allow the public to record meetings, provided that such recording does not interfere with the governing body's business. And so
Do they have to tell us they're recording, or they can just record?
I believe they can just record. But if they interfere with the governing body's business, and that would be up to your all's discretion, then there would be the opportunity to ask them to refrain from doing that in that manner, or so for example, if I just stood up and came forward and did that.
They can record and then paste to Facebook.
Yes, that's correct. So Kansas Open Meetings Act, everything is open to the public's observation except for explicit circumstances. which are defined as executive sessions. They are the exception, however, not the norm. So we don't go into executive session very often, and when we do, it has to be done under specific requirements, and it has to be to discuss specific topics that we'll get to in a moment. So in order to go into executive session, you must have a formal motion made in open session. It must have the legal justification for going into executive session, which is the statutory exemption. So it could be, for example, a personnel matter of non-elected personnel, attorney-client consultation, real property acquisition, or even security matters, but that legal justification must be provided in the formal motion. Also included in the formal motion is the subject to be discussed and a specific time that the session will end, and that's to allow folks that are watching either in person or virtually to know when you'll be coming back for in open meeting and potentially taking action. Only items that are part of that formal motion may be discussed in executive session, and then ultimately any action item that is taken must be done in open session where the public may observe it. Oftentimes, however, COMA violations happen unintentionally. Usually no one's intentionally intending to violate COMA. So here are some things to avoid. Serial meetings. So this would be when Commissioner A talks to Commissioner B, who then talks to Commissioner C. At that point, you have three members that have talked about the same topic, even though they may have not have been in the same room even, but they have violated the act because they've created a serial meeting. So it's better if you're going to talk about an item, just talk about it in an open meeting. Group texts or emails that turn into deliberations. On this one, it's best just to email the city manager, and then that information can be shared with the commission without violating the Open Meetings Act. Polling commissioners privately to pre-decide an issue, not a good thing to do. And then taking action in executive session, you'll be guided in executive session to take action out here, so we won't have that problem here in El Dorado. And then using staff, intermediaries, or community members to shuttle positions between commissioners is also questionable. COMA enforcement, however, is handled by the Attorney General based on complaints. And so if the Attorney General looks into those matters, there could be legal consequences based upon their investigation, which could include civil penalties of up to $500 per member per violation, and individual members can be fined under the Kansas Open Meetings Act themselves. In some cases also, the Attorney General requires training or corrective action, and there have been court orders voiding decisions made in violation of the Kansas Open Meetings Act. So for example, if a decision was discussed outside of the meeting, and in the meeting an action was taken, if the Kansas Attorney General finds out that that was the case, a court order could be issued voiding the decision and then requiring the process to be followed all the way back through again. So it's just best to follow the process from the beginning. Of course, the bigger risk, while these are problems, paying civil penalties, training, and court orders are issues that would have to be dealt with or paid. The bigger risk is, of course, a loss of public trust. Sunshine is less about the statutes than it is about maintaining public's credibility and the public's trust of the process and the democratic system. So again, a few easy habits to keep everyone on the right side of COMA. Treat any quorum interaction as a potential public meeting. Do not email the full governing body when communicating. It's best just email me, and then I can figure out how best to distribute that information. Redirect sensitive topics to official meetings rather than informal chats. I would even go so far as to say any official topics to meetings rather than informal chats. And then when in doubt, assume that the conversation should happen in open session. Again, executive sessions are the exception. They're not the norm. And so we'll generally have most conversations out here unless those exceptions fit the rule. A good rule of thumb, you're probably in the clear if you would not mind tomorrow's news repeating your conversation verbatim. So that's the Kansas Open Meetings Act in summary. Do you all have any questions?
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. And again, we'll do everything we can at the staff level to keep everybody moving forward. We'll go that route. So, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. We have reports, advisory board updates. You'll get one. Leon, do you have anything?
My report would have came from Florida where I was on a cruise, so my.
We don't need to hear that one. Okay, moving on. Main Street met. The discussion, Craig Yaryan was named the new Main Street Board President. We discussed their fundraiser that's coming up spring, early summer. Talked about the parade, which, by the way, is this Saturday. Starts at 5:30, and then we'll have the lighting of the tree at the courthouse after the parade is done. If you go on Main Street's webpage, you will see there are several days' worth of activities. The Coots Museum is involved, the Oil Museum is involved. There's all sorts of different activities, so you can go to their website to see times and places. And then we ran out of time. But before the meeting was concluded, Emily Connell, the director of Main Street for the last 10 years, tendered her retirement as of the end of December. And we, of course, thank her for her 10 years of service to Main Street and all the things that have been accomplished, and wish you fun in your retirement. Enjoy it. Just keep busy, but enjoy it. City Manager's report.
I have just a few things. The DUI Victim Center of Kansas recently recognized the Eldoret Police Department with a certificate of greatness. Actually, they recognized one of our officers, and this all is recognizing officers for going above and beyond for enforcing laws pertaining to driving under the influence. Sergeant Ryan Smith was recognized for his enforcement efforts by the center. And we'd also like to remind folks that December is Drunk and Drug Driver Awareness Month. People are oftentimes out and about at parties or different things, and we just ask you to be prudent when you're out partaking, especially during the holiday season. Citizens are asked to return aquatic center pool surveys by December 5th, which is actually Friday. To remain eligible for the prize drawing, we'll probably be receiving them well after that as well. Please use the provided self-addressed stamped envelope to return your survey to the city. You may also hand deliver them to City Hall at your convenience. The window will be open, or you may bring it in the front door as well. Thus far, the city has received approximately 500 surveys, and we appreciate all the feedback. We've gotten a lot of good input, not only from check boxes, but from comments, generally speaking. And I would reiterate Commissioner Wilkinson and comments that even if your comments are negative, we definitely want to hear, because we'll aggregate all that information and provide it to the commission so they can make an informed decision based upon the public's input on those projects. The city is still accepting feedback for the Safe Routes for All initiative. The feedback will be used to develop a community safety action plan that will identify crash patterns and potential safety solutions to address areas throughout the community. It will also identify areas to improve street design for bicyclists, pedestrians, and vehicles. Projects identified will then be used to help us hopefully track down some federal funding that can be used to address those problems from a project standpoint. And we're hoping to start making those applications beginning in the first part of 2026. So April, May-ish of 2026. Visit the city's website to share your thoughts and identify those opportunities in the community. December is the first month of 3 months that we use to calculate winter sewer averages for utility customers, the other two being January and February. The city calculates a winter average for sewer bills because residential usage is typically less in the winter months than it is in the summer months. For example, people don't fill their pools up in the wintertime, or they shouldn't fill their pools up in the wintertime. As well as folks that water their yards or do anything that would be outside. Using the winter average instead of the actual average saves utility customers approximately 15 to 25% when compared to their actual sewer rate. We do have some people that call in and they want us to use their actual rate, but the reason for this is because you generally use less water during the winter months than you do in the summer months. The city's printing company has made a mistake. You may have received 2 water bills for your monthly water bill this month. Some customers were affected, some may not have received duplicates. But please bear in mind that, number one, they are duplicates, so don't double pay your bill. If you do, it'll just be charged as a credit back, it'll be charged as a credit for next month, but you don't have to pay that amount twice. One of your bills should contain the newsletter. If not, you can reach out to the city, either by picking one up at City Hall, or you can get the newsletter on the city's website as well. We'll also probably mail one to you if you call the City Hall at 321-9100. And then, as Commissioner Wilkinson mentioned, there are many Christmas events happening throughout the community, including Main Street's Old Fashioned Christmas this week. Visit the city's calendar at www.eldoks.gov for more information on all the holiday activities going on throughout the month. And that is all I have.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.